Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
Mm.
Caught mid-drink.
Yes, I'm Megan, the skeptical one who likes to drink.
I'm Erin the Believer, who also likes to drink.
Imagine that. Something we agree on.
Aw,
Aw.
we really do agree on most things.
I know. It's just certain things.
It's just this dumb thing that you should definitely believe in that you're so stubborn about.
I believe I could say the same thing for you, my friend.
Oh my gosh. No way. All right, how's your week going?
Oh, trucking along.
It's only Monday.
It's only Monday. Whew, it's only Monday.
Yeah, our spring break is in 8 school days. And boy, are the kids aware of that.
Oh, yeah. Spring fever has hit, and not in a good way. Everybody is just ready to go and get outside.
That's right. Yeah.
Including me. That's the bad part, when the
I know.
teachers are just as ready as the kids. So everybody's just like, let's just get through it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough right now. I started a new show.
Oh, what is it?
It's called Minx on HBO.
Oh my gosh. I tried to start it last night. Oh, it's dirty.
You cannot watch that in the living room with your family running around.
And I had just put everybody to bed, and I thought that Miles was asleep, and I started playing it. Definitely that whole construction scene where he's catcalling. I mean, I had it down pretty low, but still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm getting into it. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes in, I was like, hey, Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, what all have you been? The language that kid probably picked up. Oh, well, just add it to the list.
Yeah. Well, the very first scene, be prepared. There's like a montage of penises.
Oh, I cannot wait.
So many of them.
Dang.
And so on the weekends, we let the girls sleep on the couch and they can stay up later. And normally Kevin's home, but he had to work this weekend. So it was just me. I thought, I'm going to watch the show while he's gone. And I remember thinking, I hope the girls don't just run in during the show, but surely they'll knock. It'll be fine. The whole time they were doing the penis montage, I was like, oh my gosh, please knock. Please knock.
Risky game. Lock that door, girl.
I know, but then I don't want them to feel like I'm
doing what?
Unacceptable or what is that? Approachable or
Erin, you're allowed to have some privacy. You're allowed to lock that door and be unapproachable at times.
Yes. Well, anyways.
Especially when you're watching a bunch of dicks. I think that's a good time to not be approachable for your kids.
I guess. Well, I made it through the whole first episode. Fine.
Okay.
Nobody walked in during that part. And then in the second one, I'm almost to the end. And they've got all these dildos lined up on the counter. And some of them are like graphic. One of the lines is, well, this one has a very realistic vein in it.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, we're on that scene. And I've kind of forgotten that the kids are still awake. And the girls burst into my room to give me a hug. And I mean, like they were on some kind of race. But luckily, it had just changed scenes where you could only see the tips of everything. So I knew what was on the screen, but they obviously had no idea.
Those are chalk or like the little chalk tips of the like sidewalk chalk.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Mommy's watching a documentary about chalk, everybody.
It's riveting. Yeah. So they ran in, I paused it, and then the whole time they're like, good night, Mom. They're giving me hugs, and I'm like, don't look too close to the TV. But it's pretty good so far.
Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, like I said, first 10 minutes and then I turned it off. I was like, I'm just going to have to watch this when I'm dead. Everything that I want to do, like sleep and watch anything dirty, is just going to have to be years from now.
This is why you need a TV in your room. It's so weird that you don't have one in your room.
I know, but I really feel like, some things I read and they really stick with me because I don't read often. So I read some article that was talking about how unhealthy it is and how people stay up way too late and then they don't get enough sleep. And I need my sleep. Trust me, you don't want to catch me without my sleep.
Yeah.
No, not all the dicks in the world can make that better on TV.
On TV. All the dicks in the world in real life?
I don't know. I've never tried that. I'm just saying, if I'm tired, it ain't no dicks happening anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. I don't know. With a husband who works nights, there's just no way I'm just going to come out on the couch every night and watch TV.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I could see that. So I know in our bloopers, for the Patreons, you're going to get to hear all about my stanky feet.
and a bonus something.
And a bonus stinky something else if you'd like to listen in on that. Pay $5.
Yeah, $3. You can get it for the low price of $3. I'm not putting that on the bloopers here.
No, it's too crass to go anywhere but on something that people pay for, which is so weird. That people would pay money for the gross things that we put in there, but whatever.
Right. It usually gets a perk.
I
Every
know.
time I'm like, oh, I can't believe we told that story. Then it's like,
Oh.
oh, here we go.
Well, listen, if you like it raunchy, listen. Okay. Anyway, but I was so sad today to have to go to work.
Oh.
Normally, I love going to work because I'm like, ooh, I'm off.
Yeah.
Because work is my off time and home is my work time. But today I was like, man, my boss will not let me wear flip-flops because I have to run in my job often. So I was so sad because I can't wear flip-flops. So that means I had to put on my little Toms, which covered up our beautiful pedicure that we finally got. I finally got rid of the last smidge of that ugly blue color you made me get.
I did not make you get it.
You made me get it. Anyway, months ago, I finally, that's how long it's been. And let me tell you, I love getting a pedicure. I do not care so much for how judgmental sometimes our technicians can be.
Yeah, I got a real judgy one.
I did too. She cracked me up though. I was like, look, I know. I mean, I can't even really get mad at them. I'm really just joking. But she literally did the file thing and showed Aaron how much she filed off my foot. She didn't even look at me. She looked over Aaron like, get a load of this. I'm like, hey now, I know you hear us talking, but what if I don't really know her that well?
Yeah, we look identical.
Yeah, I know. She's like, do you see your sister's nasty feet?
She's disgusting.
And I am. I own it. I fully own it.
My person said, do you like this color? And I said, yes. And she went, really?
Really? Is this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this, but are you sure?
Yeah. Okay. I will admit that in today's light, it is a little bit more orange than coral.
Yeah.
It felt more coral yesterday.
Oh, no, it was definitely orange yesterday.
Well,
I thought it was orange yesterday, but I thought you liked it. I was like, okay, let's go for it.
Well, now I feel weird about them. They're pretty orange.
Well, I could imagine why you felt weird about it. She was hilarious.
Yeah, no, first she said, really? Like, are you sure? And then I said, well, should I change it? And she goes, no, I've already done 2 toes. I don't even know where you found this color. I was like, oh my gosh. Now I want you to change it.
Oh, she was great though. She just did not like that color. But
No.
I really always appreciate when somebody says something like that and they're not easily swayed or they don't cover it up for politeness.
Right.
You can tell she's like, I mean, I guess if you want it, it wouldn't be what I would pick. Let's just say that.
Right. Yeah, no, it was official. She did not like that color.
Oh, she did not. It was cracking me up. And then she tried to pull your pants down again.
I know. I'm like, guys, I got big calves. I get it.
My calves are so big. My lady just looked at me like, that's all you, girl.
I know. She tried and I was like, please don't. Please, I'll do it.
Let me just pull down my pants on my own. It's going to be hard to do.
My gosh, it's so embarrassing.
It's so funny. It makes me laugh every single time. Every time.
I actually changed pants before we went because I thought,
loosen them up a little
I
bit.
don't want that to happen again. I'm going to get the ones that are a little bit bigger. Nope. Turns out my calves are big in every pants.
I love it.
Anyways.
But my toes, they feel good. They're beautiful. I just hate it because my Toms stink so bad.
Oh,
I've tried to wear socks in them. Socks will peek out under a Tom. They just look weird. They look bad. So I'm like,
yeah, those little toe socks.
I do, but they still peek out. I think because my feet are so small. There's something weird about the way my feet are with Toms. I have to go a size up in Toms.
Yeah.
I just do. Otherwise, they'll give me horrible blisters. But then that means they're a little bit loose on me, and then you can see the socks. And come on. I'd rather stink to high heaven than somebody possibly see a edge of a sock and be uncool.
Your feet, I don't know if we've ever discussed that on the podcast. You have the tiniest adult feet I've ever seen.
Yeah, but that's just how I am. I'm compact in some ways and definitely not in others.
How I like it.
Oh, man. Okay, well.
We got good stories.
Okay, yes. Let's get to these good stories. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first.
Okay. Do we want to arm wrestle for it?
No.
Why not? I always think it's funny when we do something like that. When we do rock, paper, scissors.
You want to arm wrestle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my god.
Come on. What are you scared?
A little.
I love it. Okay, but if I win, you get to go first.
Okay, but I want to go first.
Okay, well, if I win, you go first. If you lose, you go first.
Okay, ready, go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you freaking beast. What's wrong with you? Oh. Quit making loud ass hard.
gosh.
Oh man.
Why are you so strong?
I don't know. I've got those little hands,
Oh
but
my-
strong arms.
That was so freaky.
Why do you think I wanted to arm wrestle?
Oh
I've got
my
weird little
gosh.
things about.
Why do you think I was scared? I knew it was going to be some weird, mighty power.
It's all in the small hands. The smaller the hands, the more powerful the arm wrestle.
Oh my gosh, that was awful. That was like trying to move a brick wall.
Thank you. It reminds me of how like your butt is like as hard as a brick.
I have the hardest butt
You
for
really
no
do.
reason.
You really do. I mean, it looks nice and like you're gonna squish it, but it's not.
You should say my butt looks squishy
In a good way. Like oh, I want to squish that butt.
Oh my gosh, you're so weird.
But it's not. I mean, it's like
No, it's rock
it's
hard.
a rock.
Kevin has walked past me and smacked it, thinking like who's being funny, and it hurt his hand, and I was not prepared for it. Like I wasn't even like flexing.
Yeah, look at you go,
He was like,
girl.
"Oh man, like that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, don't ever underestimate these big booty girls.
That's right.
Or these freakishly small hands.
I will also let anybody feel my butt because I'm so proud of how
Yeah.
strong it is.
Heck yeah, do it.
It's so weird how strong it is. If there's some kind of weird butt competition, I would win that.
I would like somebody to Google that right now and please see if that's a thing.
Not it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, to Google it, but you would enter it.
I'd enter it.
But could you imagine the Google
No.
things you would get back?
Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read a story from Holly.
Okay. Hello, Holly.
The subject line is ghost story.
Oh, that's right to the point.
Yeah.
I like it.
Right? Hi, I'm so sorry I forgot about the ghost story I was going to send. ADD is awful. I need to write myself reminders for everything.
Aw.
So here's the story of my first ghost encounter. Now I'm like, do I have ADD? Because I forget.
Clearly we do because we marked this
Yeah.
red. Yeah, and it wasn't. This has been sitting there for a while and we missed it.
Right. The moment something is out of sight, I forget about it.
I know, me too. I'm bad
Which
at
is
it.
why I don't think I would have ever made a good waitress.
Oh, I made a great waitress. Maybe not. I don't know.
When I worked at that tiny little place I talked about last week,
Mm-hmm.
I would get someone's order and then I would go to the back and I'd totally forget. And then I'd walk back out like a minute later and be like, oh my gosh. And then I'd go back in and I'd forget
Rachel.
again. It was awful.
You're Rachel from Friends.
Yes. If only I had $1 for every time somebody said I was like Rachel from Friends.
You'd have $1.
That's
Okay,
right.
go.
First, a brief history lesson. At one time, Van Lear, Kentucky was a booming coal town owned by a consolidated coal company. Think Loretta Lynn, coal miner's daughter.
Love Loretta Lynn.
Right. The miners who worked the Van Lear mines used a pillar system, which had them taking coal out, but leaving pillars of coal to hold the roof of the mine up and keep the mountain from caving in on them.
Ooh, how scary.
I know. This whole email
Yeah.
sounds like the scariest job ever.
Ugh.
The month of July 1935 had the mine testing high for methane, which caused the floor of the mine to heave, decreasing ventilation and causing stress on the timbers and pillars holding up the mine.
I don't ever want to work somewhere where the floor heaves.
No.
That does not sound safe.
It sounds paranormal.
It does. Yeah, it really does. Like you're at the depths of hell.
Yes. Where demons come from, which
That's
we learned
right.
last week.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wednesday, July 17th, had an area of mine number 155, or as everyone called it, number 5 mine, in which there was a potential for increased methane level, decreased ventilation, and no methane level measurement for several days.
Nope.
Yeah.
Call the union. I'm not working that day.
Right? But it's like 1935.
I know. I don't know. Come on. We need, what's her name? Norma Ray. We need
Norma
Norma
Ray.
Ray up in this place.
I was like, Sally Field.
Yeah.
12 guys were working at the mine that day. 9 men were inside the mine removing tracks so they could move it to a different area / mine. So it could be reused and save the company money. A spark ignited and 9 men inside the mine were killed from the explosion.
Oh, it's horrible.
I know. The 3 above survived. The explosion caused the coal company to pull out of Van Lear, basically decimating the town because it was the biggest employer. Property became super cheap, and my grandparents, both sets, bought property in the same Holler, the number 5 Holler.
I love the Holler.
I know. There's a bunch of it here. It makes me think of Charles Booker.
Oh, yeah.
From the hood to the holler.
From the hood to the Holler. And also, I think, you and me going fishing in the dark.
Oh, I love that song.
It's a great one.
It was a great one.
I don't know if they ever say holler in it.
I don't think they do. I was like going through
I
the
know.
lyrics.
I am too. That's funny. We both stopped for a bit, like, but I just imagine
Just feels like they love that song.
if you're gonna go fishing in the dark, it should be in a holler.
You're also from a holler.
Right. You're from the holler. You're gonna go fishing in the dark.
That's right. My dad's parents bought enough land that eventually their children each had space to place a trailer on. The trailer I lived in was about 50 feet away from number 5 coal mine entrance. It had been sealed off, but we were still told not to play around it. I never knew why until I was older. I knew nothing about the explosion growing up. I just knew there was an entrance to the mine. No one talked about the accident, even though almost all of my friends growing up had a relative that had worked the mine, and several had family that died that day.
Wow.
My first encounter with a ghost was in that little trailer before I was even school age. I have suffered from insomnia all my life. It didn't help that once it was night and my parents were asleep, I have no idea what time it was because I couldn't tell time yet.
Aww.
I would see men wearing dirty, raggedy clothes walking up and down the hallway carrying lanterns. Remember, this is like a trailer, so that land had been empty. That's where they walked through to the entrance.
Ooh, that gave me goosebumps.
I know. I would shut my eyes tight and pretend I couldn't see them.
Aww.
One night, I did the squeezing my eyes shut as tight as I could thing. I felt eyes on me, so I peeked my eyes open, and there were 3 or 4 men standing over my bed looking at me.
No.
I know. When I read this in front of you, that's when I went,
yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
Megan looked at me. I gasped. I was like, oh, just wait for it.
Oh, no. That's awful.
I know. I screamed as loud as I could, and my mom came running into my room. I told my parents about the men, but they told me I was having a bad dream. They didn't believe me that I wasn't asleep yet. Because remember, she had insomnia. She's like awake.
Right. So she thinks. But okay.
Okay. When I became school age, I would have to walk out of the holler to catch the school bus at what used to be the company store. I did this alone every morning because at the time, I was the only person that was school age in my holler. It was about a quarter of a mile to the bus stop. Every morning, I could hear the miners talking as I headed out to the bus stop.
What?
Yeah. When the time change had it daylight when I left, I wouldn't be scared. But when I would leave the house and it was still dark, I would try to run as fast as I could to the bus stop. Because men you can't see talking in the dark was way scarier than men you can't see talking in the daylight.
Oh, how weird.
You're right. My sister was born 6 years after I was. And she has seen the same men walking the hallways and the same disembodied voices outside.
What?
Right.
Huh. Boy, that is creepy. It also, I can't remember what movie it reminds me of, but it reminds me of some movie where all of the ghosts are like moving through something. Is it Pirates of the Caribbean or something where they're like, where they turn skeleton? That's what I'm like picturing, but coal miners.
Ooh.
Or maybe like a Ghostbusters scene.
Yeah, maybe. I know in Pirates of the Caribbean, when like the moonlight hits them or something, they turn into skeletons.
Super creepy. That's kind of what I'm picturing in my mind. That kind of creepy ghost-like thing. I feel like Holly, golly, has a vivid imagination mixed with overhearing stories.
She said she didn't even know about the accident.
Yeah, but she's tiny. And like, that's the community that they live in. Surely people are going to be talking about that somewhere. So you're going to pick up that conversation, that story. And when you're that little, you don't really pick up all the pieces or even realize that you're even paying attention. Like tons of times, Miles will just half hear something and then come back. He did ask me earlier. Oh, that child. He asked me questions and I don't know how to answer them. He said, Mom, why would 2 boys be mad at one girl for having 2 boyfriends? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I don't know. Sometimes people don't like when they have more than one boyfriend, I think. And I was like, who have you been talking to? And what is going on?
What are you watching?
Never got down to the bottom of it. I have no idea.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm like, here's the thing. And then me explaining these things in these moments, it's got to be hysterical. Because I'm like, well, most relationships, honey, there's a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend and girlfriend, or a girlfriend and a girlfriend, and a boyfriend and a boyfriend. And then he's like, all of them together? I'm like, no. So I'm like trying to explain monogamy. My whole point is, I'm I'm a shit show of a parent. And then that's the point. But then
There's
also
a lot of polyamorous couples, though.
there are. But I was saying, like, I was just
What
trying
you're
to like
probably more used to.
simplify why he was asking why
Right.
these two people would be very upset with her having two boyfriends is what I was trying to explain his question. I did not do a very good job of it. But anyway, my whole point is that I'm sure he's going to take that and morph it into something, and it's going to be something, and then I'm just going to pay for years of therapy. But she probably has heard something in that little town. I mean, small towns, they talk. Maybe they don't realize the kids are listening in. She knows she's not really supposed to hear about it, so she doesn't really dwell on it too much, but it's there. It's in her subconscious. And then all of a sudden, she's dreaming. They're very vivid dreams. Same happens with sister. Maybe even at some point she shares with sister about her dreams, which then settles into sister's subconscious. Also, I'm just saying this, I'm just going to throw this out there, is that she did not see like coal miners who have been exploded, which is sad to say, like on fire or anything like that. She just saw coal miners.
Yeah, that's true.
So for her to just see coal miners, surely she knew that coal mining was a part of that town, not so much the accident.
Yeah, that's true. But still, it just seems too coincidental that
to hear them. I mean, I get I get wrapped up, like, to hear them on your way. That is a pretty vivid imagination. And I could just, but what if there were actually men in the forest somewhere talking? And she just thinks they must be the coal miners, like almost to like,
oh no,
I know. I mean, that's horrible to say, but if she can't see them,
yeah,
she doesn't know where they are. What if they're like get up early to go hunting?
But she could
I don't
see
know
them
how they
in
do
the
it in
day.
the holler.
She said when it's daylight, she could see better.
She could, but she still couldn't see them.
She doesn't say anything about woods. You're throwing woods in there.
Well,
are all coal mine?
I'm thinking entrances? Holler. I'm thinking in the holler, there's woods. What is a holler exactly?
I'm not real sure. I'm not real sure. I feel like we should know.
We're from Kentucky, but we're also a wee bit city folk.
We're city Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, now, granted, the high school I went to did have a tractor day.
Yes. They also had a daycare.
Now, what are you judging
Which
there?
was great.
It was wonderful. You little judgmental whore.
I'm not being a judgmental whore. I just went to the other, that's just what we made fun of you for at the other high school that I went to.
Because you all were judgmental fucks. We're like,
yeah,
look, we will take in everybody. You have a baby, let me watch your baby. That'll be my third period. I'm a great babysitter. It'll be fine.
You said period. I thought menstrual period.
No.
I was like, why your third
period class? No, I love that. Was like my favorite thing about our school.
I know, it really is very cool.
And I really think that it made me like very empathetic towards a lot of people, that everybody doesn't have the same path. So you give opportunities to people who don't have the same path.
I should totally take this out because I sound like a bitch, but I should.
You do, but leave it in because I sound great.
I did learn from it. I do honestly think it's very cool. But we are the city version of Kentucky.
That's what's so funny about us being from Kentucky, is that the stereotype is we would know all of those things.
Yeah, no, I don't.
We ourselves would be from a holler, but we're not.
Right. When I lived in Owensboro and worked at the doctor's office, they made me record our outgoing message because they were like, you're the least country of all of us. I was like, well, you're not wrong.
Oh, that is great. You're not wrong. But I am still pretty country.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's hilarious. So I don't really know what we're talking about anymore other than just the holler.
What the holler is.
I really do think it'd be fun to live in a holler, though. I'm thinking like a watering hole somewhere. That'd be fun. Sure. With a swinging vine.
Yeah. Maybe I feel like you would have gone into that coal mine.
Oh my gosh. You couldn't have kept me out. Mm-hmm. Could not have kept me out.
Which is why we don't live near a holler.
That's true. Mom's like, get her away from anything.
They looked at property. One was in a holler. One was in this neighborhood, and they're like, well, we got Megan.
I remember when we were kids, do you remember the horrible story about Jessica falling in the well?
Yes. Baby Jessica.
I was riveted by that story.
Yeah.
But here's how warped my mind is.
I feel like we're going to be right here together, but go for it.
I used to daydream about what it would be like to be Jessica.
Yeah.
In that well.
Yes.
Isn't that horrible?
It is horrible. And also, I love being a martyr, and I have to try. I actively have to seek out not doing that.
Yeah. You mean to be saved?
I want sympathy.
Or tough.
No, I want people to be like, oh my gosh, you went through so much. And I can be like, I know. I've never been through so much. I've had such a good, easy, breezy life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but
can't I just get some turmoil?
Aren't you impressed with me in some way? Like, come on, do something.
You want to struggle.
I want someone. I don't really want to struggle, but I want someone to think that I'm struggling. It's such a narcissistic trait of me, and I know it, which is good because I know it.
Yeah.
I fight it.
That's definitely good. Well, it's self-awareness. It's like, okay, it's probably what a lot of people. I mean, it's probably why I do daydream about. Not anymore. That'd be really weird. But I can remember, like, I was glued to that TV, and I just thought, where could I find a well to fall into?
Right.
And how can I convince everybody that it wasn't on purpose right after I just watched Baby Jessica? Oh my gosh, which is awful. Like the trauma that her family went through. I know. Should probably cut all this, but
no, I'm keeping this part. I mean, I pretty much claim to be a narcissist in it, and it's not wrong.
But when she survived, it was such a powerful moment of like,
I don't want to die ever. I want someone to be like, I want everyone's concern.
Yeah.
And then everyone's relief.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want them just like, oh, you're so brave.
Wow, you did it.
That's what I want.
Okay. I feel that way about you in all of your efforts to be a mom.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
I was trying to think of something you struggle with, and then you power through.
Whatever. I'm like, they're fine.
And they're fine. I mean, you're going to hopefully make it through.
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed. Oh my gosh. These children. Well, who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. Maybe one of them will fall in a well.
Oh, fingers crossed.
No. We do not want that.
No, I don't want that. But can you imagine how everybody would be concerned about my
Oh my
child?
gosh. Everybody would be surround you. You would get.
Oh my gosh. I'm cutting this part.
Yeah. That's like dipping into what's it called? Munchausen's.
I promise that's never happened.
Never.
I don't want to take care of a sick kid. Are you kidding me?
Hell no.
Not like I would if I had to, but I'm not going to make that happen.
No. God, that's awful.
Oh, ugh. Have you ever had to clean up throw up? I can't even.
All the time. It's awful.
I cannot watch. We watched some stupid, awful movie this weekend. And what's with the new trend of showing people throw up in movies?
I don't know.
I'm like,
it's been around for like an hour.
An hour.
Which is 1 hour. I hated it for about a year now. And I'm like, this is awful. Ugh.
Yeah, I can hear it and know what's happening. I don't need to see anything.
Yeah.
And this shot, at first it showed him throwing up. I'm like, great, don't need to see that. I had to deal with that in real life. No, thank you. And then it kept showing like a bird's eye view. Ugh. And you could still see the toilet. I'm like, I don't need to see your throw up.
Also, cutting off legs. Why do I have to actually see them cutting through the bone?
Oh, what are you watching?
1883 and then this like ice. They went on like an ice excursion and they had to cut off some like toes. I'm like, don't show me.
Ooh, no.
Imply it. That's all I need. Okay, are we ready to hear from the magnificent? I'm trying to think of an
Ignamic, isn't that a word?
The emoting Emily.
The emotional Emily? No.
No, she doesn't seem emotional at all.
Empathic Emily.
The empath Emily. Boy, E needs work. Let her E.
Tell me about it. I'm here. I suffer with it.
Okay, well, the
electric.
Exceptional.
Ooh, exceptional.
The exceptional Emily. Here we go. All right, so here's story number 3. And
all right,
if you need a reminder, story number 1, amazing. Story number 2, amazing.
Here
we are, story number 3.
Yeah, so this was on last week's episode that we started this email.
We saved number 3 for this episode. Story 3, okay, Emily is so damn cool. Me, my side, and her cousin. I want to be cool enough to call my like significant other my side.
My side? S-I-D-E, side?
S-I-D-E, my side.
That is really cool.
Yeah, like my sidekick. I don't know. Look it up on Urban Dictionary. I don't know, but I'm pretty
I don't like that either. I don't like looking up things on Urban Dictionary.
You don't? Why? It's just words. They don't show you pictures.
No, but usually I'm like, ew.
Oh, I can do ew in words. Pictures I can never get out of my mind.
I like very elegant, raunchy novels.
Oh,
I don't like Urban Dictionary.
Yes, so classy. Me, my side, and her cousin went and stayed at a haunted, and that's in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Emily. She did not proclaim to be a believer. However, I feel like she is because of the way the story goes.
Okay.
But
well, she had the bathing suit story. How could you not be a believer after that?
But also, she definitely put haunted in quotation marks.
Okay. All right.
But I think what she means by that is like not a haunted house like you would go to at Halloween time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a supposedly haunted house.
Okay.
Okay. In Mitchell, Indiana, called Whispers Estate. I mean, how could you not be haunted with a name like that?
Yeah, whispers are the creepiest form of communication.
Yeah. No, thank you. If you enjoy ghost hunting, I highly, that's in all capital letters, recommend going. It's a very cool house.
Okay. I'm down.
Okay. Me too. Nothing will happen, but I'm down. That sounds like fun.
It'll happen. If you believe it'll happen, it'll happen.
Will it, or will your imagination make it happen? The owner of the house showed us the flashlight game. What's the flashlight game?
The flashlight game is where you unscrew the battery.
Oh, you told me about this. And I was like, are you kidding me?
You make it a loose, like it's barely touching the battery. So that's off. And then you ask yes or no questions and it like will flash yes. It'll flash on for yes and it won't do anything for no.
I feel like that is so easily manipulated by the person holding the flashlight.
No, you don't hold the flashlight. You put it down on the table.
What?
You put it down on something you're not touching and then you ask questions. Of course it would be manipulated by somebody holding it.
Right.
We're not idiots. We're not idiots.
Okay. I didn't say you were idiots.
Right. Okay. It wasn't
I also
not
didn't
implied.
say you weren't. But I didn't say. Okay. The owner of the house showed us the flashlight game, which was very cool, and the spirits seemed to enjoy communicating that way. But that's not the focus of the story. I brought with me my pendulum. Pendulum.
I
feel like you can't say that word without changing your voice.
Oh, okay.
But I also don't know that I can say it correctly.
Do you know what a pendulum does?
Yeah, I know what it is, right? Yeah. It's a necklace.
Yeah. Well,
or it's like
it's on a chain.
Right.
Do you know how you use it for paranormal ghost hunting things?
No. Something for yes and something for no. I know that because in her story later she says it.
Oh, all right. Well, then we're going to let her explain it.
Okay. I brought with me my pendulum. My pendulum.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. You got to say it weird. Okay. We went into
pendulum. That's like my normal voice. My pendulum.
Could you say that all the time? My pendulum?
I don't, but it's also not that weird of a word. Although the more you say it, the weirder it gets.
That's what I'm thinking.
Pendulum.
Pendulum. Like it's lost all meaning.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay, thank you. We went to the attic in what is called the seance room. Ooh, where all seance rooms should be. In the attic.
For sure.
The entire house is pitch black unless you use a flashlight. We sat around this table and I got out my pendulum. Okay, sorry. I'll try to be serious. I can't promise anything. We sat around the table and I got out my pendulum. This was the first time using it. I sat my elbow down on the table so I wouldn't be shaky or anything to keep it still. And honestly, I didn't expect anything to happen. My wife's cousin had his phone light on, but like half hidden so it wasn't too bright. We tried recording this experience, but he was just using his phone. So unfortunately, you can't see anything on the video. Go figure.
Dang.
Yeah, convenient. All right, sorry, I'm getting a little too comfortable with Emily. Her third story, and I'm like, you got me on those first two. You ain't gonna get me on this third one. Okay.
Your guard is up.
Yes. But I sat there holding my pendulum, and I told the spirits that I would ask yes or no questions. And if they want to answer yes, to swing it up and down. And if they want to answer no, to swing it left to right. I asked if there was someone there that had died in this house. I asked several times with nothing happening until I asked again. And I shit you not, my pendulum started swinging hard. That's in all capital letters. Back and forth, indicating the yes answer.
Yikes.
My eyes got real wide and I began internally freaking out. Yeah, I would imagine. If that really happened.
It did. Why would she lie about this?
No, I don't think she lied. I think that it was happening.
You think she's making it happen without knowing she's... Shut your face.
Yeah, I really do.
Oh, you're the worst.
I really do. I really do think that, like, there's a part of her that wants to believe it so bad.
Now, wait a minute. If you were doing this, if you were holding the pendulum...
Okay, do you think that would ever happen?
Yeah, I feel like there's a chance.
Okay.
in this journey that we're on, that somebody's going to give you a pendulum and they're like, Megan, don't move it. But suddenly you ask it a question, it moves. Are you going to later be like, I'm sure I was making it do that, but I didn't realize it?
Yeah, I think I could say that.
Oh my gosh, you are literally the worst.
I think that I would be like, there's probably a part of me that really wanted it to move.
Oh my gosh. All right, keep reading.
Okay.
That's
I'm
ridiculous.
so sorry how mad
That's
it makes
just ridiculous.
I don't think it is. I think that we are capable of doing a lot of things that we don't want to do.
My Lord.
But we do them anyway.
Okay, I'm not mad. Read.
I hate how mad it makes you. I mean, a little part of me as your sister loves it, but a big part of me is like, oh, don't take it so seriously. It's all just pretend.
No, I'm not mad at you. I just think you're dumb. I think you're so dumb.
Okay, well, I hate to say the feeling's mutual, but okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Cut that part because I don't want anybody else to think I think they're dumb. They're not dumb, just you. Okay. My eyes got real wide and I began internally freaking out. I waited for it to stop swinging before asking it another question. I asked if they liked visitors coming in the house, and again the pendulum started to swing.
Oh, that means yes.
It indicated no.
Oh, no.
So in your world, a pendulum just is still and it means no?
No. She gave it specific directions, which is actually
how you should do it.
More impressive than what I thought. I've never used a pendulum because I've never gone super. I've only done that one ghost hunting thing, and that wasn't an option. Okay. But it goes back and forth, like in front of you for yes, and it goes side to side for no. So 2 opposite directions. So that's even more than I knew.
Yeah, so if you take your fingers and you do this.
But why would she do that to herself?
Because somewhere on some level she wanted something to happen.
I can't wait for you to be haunted someday. It's all I want.
I feel like it's going to have to be you that's going to do it. Like you're going to have to have sheer will.
No, there's no way I would ever fake it.
Sheer will to come back.
Oh, me as your haunter. I thought you were like, I'm going to have to set you up so you think you're being haunted.
No. Like I feel like you're going to break through the barriers of hauntings. Like they've never actually happened.
Oh my gosh.
And you're going to break through the barriers to prove to me.
And then you're going to say on the podcast, you're going to start it with a new co-host, and you're going to be like, for the first time ever, everyone,
I believe.
Oh my gosh.
And here is my skeptic. And then I'll introduce the new skeptic. Oh, that's kind of cute. It'll be one of your kids. And then it'll just go on and on and on.
Oh my gosh. They're not as funny as I am, right?
Also, if you think that you're going to die before me, whew, girl, my life.
You never know. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
That's true. This is true. Okay.
That'd be so sad if one of us died all of a sudden.
Let's go at the same time.
Okay.
Let's just make that happen. Like after everybody can leave us the fuck alone and you and I can just live in an old retirement home with a happy hour.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
We could start a whole new podcast.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be hilarious. Oh, it'd be great. What would it be called? It would call like Hot Old Men.
My newest STD.
Oh,
that's what happens in nursing
I know,
homes a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a really high percentage of STDs. That's
good for them.
So great.
Good for them.
Love that. Right, go do your thing. Heroin rate should go up.
Yeah, just live the last little bit of your life to the full extent of it.
What is that movie? Always Sunny. No, what's that movie? Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, I freaking love that movie.
I do too. And I always think of that grandpa and I'm like, that's how you live life when you're old. That's how you do it.
Call back. He's the bad guy in Wait Till Dark with Audrey Hepburn. Who knew?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Man, I need to go back and watch that.
I need to go back and watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So good.
No,
we need to add that.
I need to go back and watch Little Miss Sunshine.
Yes, we need to add that to our list on the Facebook thing.
Yeah. It probably has also not aged well. I watched Saving Silverman last night. And I was surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. There are a lot of bad parts.
Oh, yeah. But
there's
also a lot of good parts. But, you just close your eyes during those bad parts. Okay.
Sorry. Get back on track. Quit distracting me.
Look, you're the one that went on a tangent on that one, not me. It was probably me. This was my first paranormal investigation, and I was on the spot, so I was terrible at coming up with yes or no questions.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like those are the 2 most important.
Yeah.
Did someone die? Are you cool with me being here?
Right.
I mean.
It says no, time to go.
Yeah, exactly. The activity stopped after those 2 questions, so I put it away. Because they're like, I said I'm not okay, and
Yeah.
you're still asking me questions.
Here are my
Bye-bye.
boundaries. I don't like them. I'm done.
I'm going to ignore you until you do what I ask you to do. I literally said that to a kid today earlier. I love you, but I'm ignoring you until you follow my directions. Okay. But I honestly couldn't believe it actually worked. And no, there was no wind or drafts. I think that was directed towards me.
Yes,
It was an attic, so it was stuffy as hell in there. I couldn't believe how hard it swung by itself. Again, though, she puts it in parentheses. By itself.
She put by itself and
Yeah.
well, wait a minute. No, because she's saying it wasn't by itself. It was by the paranormal.
Oh, I thought she was saying like by me.
No. I'm with her. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my original. What I said. Sorry, Emily.
No, I absolutely don't think that. Now, if I were in this situation with you and you were holding the pendulum, I wouldn't believe it.
What if I was like, Aaron, I swear I didn't do it?
No, I don't think there's anything you could say that would make me believe you.
Good, you should never. You should not, because what I will do is that later on, I'm like, and she totally believed me.
Right. But see, here's the other thing. I need you to do it at some point, because if I do it, you're never going to believe it. And you also just said that if you do it, you're not going to believe it, even if it happens to you.
I mean, have you ever had a moment where you're like, you've never had a moment where you did something, you're like, I don't know why I just did that, or I don't understand what just happened, but I know that I was the one that did it.
Yeah, but I always have that moment after.
Yeah, I think that's did I do that? Am I making that happen? Like, you've never questioned yourself in that moment of like, did I just do something really strange? Like a second thought, or you second guess yourself.
You know, some of those times that's happened to you, it could have been paranormal.
No, because I'm always like, oh yeah, it was totally me.
There are times where I'm like, that, I don't remember doing that. That's really weird. And I don't have an explanation for it.
Yeah, but I can always sit there long enough and think of the explanation for what it is. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I did do that in some weird way.
You're weird.
Am I weird, or am I like a private eye? I investigate a lot.
All right, whatever. I don't know. No, I don't think so. But I mean, there are times where I've done things, I'm like, oh, that was a weird thing to do. And then I move forward. But there's never a time where I can't think of me actually being the one to do it. Like that time with the Ouija board, I'll always go back to it.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the force that, I hate talking about the Ouija board to you because I know how dumb you think it is. But
okay, I have never used the word dumb.
No, but your face is looking like,
I never used the word dumb. I'm listening to your story.
Yeah, with skeptical eyes, you're listening to the story. But
the name of the podcast is My Skeptical Sister. It'd be really weird if all of a sudden I was like, oh, now I believe.
I'm just saying
this would be called fake. It would be called My Fake Sister.
Okay, I'm just saying that when we were playing, I mean, it was almost as if it was shooting out from under our fingers. Like we could barely keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it was zooming across. And I like Teresa, I love her. She's not a great actress. She doesn't fake anything well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that alone is enough to convince me for the rest of my life. There's no doubting it after using that Ouija board with Teresa. Okay. All right. Let's go on to your fan favorite.
I mean, I would sit here and try to debunk that story again, but I feel like it would make you really mad. And I'm the only one that's had tequila tonight, so
I'm not mad. I really am not mad.
I just the game. No.
That's
I feel
the
like
show. That's the podcast.
And I just feel like we could go there. I don't want you to get mad at me. I just think that that's such a young memory that you are basing a lot of belief off of.
Some memories are core memories, and those
I know.
Don't
and often,
change.
If you could go back in time and look at those core memories, they're not quite what you thought they were.
No, it's one of my most vivid memories. You can never convince me otherwise, so I won't get mad about it. I just won't believe you.
Okay, and we can agree to disagree politely and respectfully, as people should do all the time when they disagree.
That's right.
Okay, so one thing we can agree on.
Okay.
We love fan favorites.
We do, for sure.
And we love this fan favorite.
Okay, I can't wait. It's your turn.
Oh, it is my turn. But let me tell you what I did just for you. I picked one of your favorites.
One of my favorites, you jerk.
One of your favorite favorites.
Aw.
And I know it's one of your favorite favorites because after I picked her, I met her.
Oh.
At Irish Rover.
Oh, I know who you picked, you jerk.
Jennifer. The lovely, lovely Jennifer.
Oh, I went to college with Jennifer.
Yes, you did. And then you were like, oh, I'm going to go meet my friend from college. I'm like, oh, I feel like this might be her. And then I go and I meet her and we had to play it cool. Because last week, it was supposed to be her last week, but then you like cheated and jumped the gun.
I did not. It was my turn.
It was your turn. And so you had to go. So I kept her, I like left her in the wings, but here we are. So of course I did my regular spiel about, hi, Jennifer, you're our next favorite and blah, blah, blah. She said, yay, thank you so much. Let me think on it. She thought for a while. She thought for about 4 days, but that's okay. Good thing she wasn't my next one. Good thing she wasn't one that I normally pick on that night. Okay. Wow. My teacher brain really took over for a couple of days there.
Oh
my God. I get that. When you're like, look, I am flattered. I do not have time for this shit.
Right.
Really wish you wouldn't have picked me, but okay, great. That's one more thing to add to my list of things I need to get back to.
Totally.
But that's okay. I'm on spring break and thinking more clearly now. So yay for spring breaks. Something near and dear to me is the Zaya, Z-Y-I-A. Have you ever heard of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm part of her group. Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. Zaya Active Side Gig. I love helping women feel comfortable and confident whether they are going to work, exercising, or just lounging. I've never even heard of this.
It's a brand. They've got really cute workout.
Oh, nice.
Clothes.
Exercise clothes. Huh.
And she's a seller.
I don't know anything about exercise clothes, but I love comfortable clothes. So I'm down for that. Zaya has something for everyone. Huh. That means me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. In sizes 0 to 20. We carry men's and children's styles too. Awesome. Listeners can join my Facebook group, Grind City Zaya, to connect with me and learn more. Let me know if this is what you're looking for. Well, heck yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's great.
But I'm just realizing I definitely did not let her know.
You never responded.
I'm so sorry, Jennifer. I think after this, I was like, oh, I'm going to see her. So it's fine. Because I met her on St. Patty's Day. But for sure.
Yeah, really
definitely works.
Really cute clothing. I have looked over it a lot. I've even made a little wish list of things I might send to my husband to be like, hey, I want this.
Get me that.
This is real cute.
So let me say that again. Just to go back over cities. What's her, if we wanted to look her up.
I'll have the link to her page on our
episode
notes. Description.
Okay, great. But if I were just going to type in on Facebook, I'm like, I'm too lazy to look up the notes. Oh, Facebook. I want to go to Grind City, Grind.
Yep. Grind
City Zaya, Z-Y-I-A. Oh, yeah. It's right there.
It's right there.
Grind City. Look at her little background. It's all for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. And she's also, you should certainly look at her cool clothing. Okay. But she's also really funny on there.
Oh, nice.
She posts a lot of really funny things. In fact, we were talking when I saw her on St. Patrick's Day because when we went to college, she was my roommate's friend.
Okay.
So I knew her for years in college, but she was always like a peripheral friend. You know, I was like, oh, yeah, I love Jennifer, but we don't ever hang out.
Right.
And then on Facebook, I'm like, she's hilarious.
Nice.
I don't know why we did not connect all the time. She's so fun. So,
well, she seemed lovely at St. Patrick's Day. I had my whole family there, and she was very tolerant.
Oh my gosh, she had everybody. It was so full.
It was.
It was stressful for me, and I was by myself, so I don't know how you did all that, but you did a great job. No one got lost.
And they didn't get lost. I felt like I had a smile on my face most of the time.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Forced at times. But, then the husband took the kids home, and then that was a great night after that.
I think I ate all of your kids' leftover fish and chips.
Yes, well, as you should have, because,
Yeah, kids. They barely ate it, and I was like, I'm starving, and the line is long, because it's St. Patrick's Day at the Irish Rover, so I just kept eating all of their leftovers. I'm like, are you going to eat this? No, I got it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. When they saw you, it was so cute. They see Erin literally. My son sees her every single day. She drives him to school. He saw you and he latched onto you. I know. I think it's one of those experiences when you're so little and the crowd is so big and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous. I've never, especially pandemic kids.
Right.
Never been in a crowd this big. And then to see somebody, they didn't know you were going to be there. I didn't tell them. So to see you unexpectedly, they both held on to you for so long. It was like, oh, I love that. You're also their safe space.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna make me cry. It
Oh,
was
don't
really sweet.
cry. Let me listen. Just drink some more beer. It'll be fine.
Listen.
Listen. It's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's great. We provide that for each other's kids. I love it. But
Yes, for sure.
Jennifer, back to you. Gosh, why do we always do that? We turn around and make it about ourselves. How wonderful we are.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot wait to look through all of your clothes to purchase something. Can we do that with some money?
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe instead of donate, we both buy a top.
Ooh, I love the thought of that.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. You might have to earn a little more.
Maybe
After that pedicure.
Yeah, I know. We did
definitely put that on that.
We did
business expense.
We treated ourselves a little pedicure with our podcast money.
It's so funny how it's our podcast and we always feel guilty for spending the money.
I know. Well, I know.
We're always like, could we? Should we? I don't even down to like drinks for the podcast. But like,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Should we? Yes, we should.
Absolutely.
I say that boldly now, but then later on I'm like, I don't know. What should we do with that money? Okay. Anyway, do your spiel while I look up how to say goodbye.
All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for being our fan favorite. Thank you for our writers, Holly and Emily. They were great stories. I love them both. You all are clearly haunted, and that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to write in your own ghost story or paranormal of any sort, you can find all that information at our website at www.myskepticalsister.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go to contact, write it in there, or write us at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can now rate on Spotify. And please just tell your friends and anybody, anyone you come in contact with to listen to our show. Give us a shot.
That's right.
We are so glad you joined us tonight, and we'll see you next week.
It's time to swap spit and hit the road.
What the heck? Does that mean goodbye? Did you just try to make out with me? What does that mean?
It's from the Holler.
Oh, my Lord.
That's how you say goodbye from the Holler.
Oh, my gosh.
La 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 la.
Sorry. I mean, you sound possessed. They're just getting worse. They're getting worse as the night goes on.
I don't know what's up.
Okay.
I'm a little drunk.
Yeah, me too. That tequila shot was just right.
I would have to walk out of the collar.
The collar?
The collar.
Where's what? How do you walk out of a collar?
Very backwardsly.
It's not a word. Is that a word? Backwards?
I just used it.
Is that the criteria for making words? Because
have you heard of Shakespeare? Yes, it is.
Or what's that? Sanford and Sons.
No idea. I mean, I know
Sanford and Sons.
Yeah, but I've never
where he's like grabbing his heart.
Yeah.
You know, he really died of a heart attack on set.
Oh my gosh. And nobody believed him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awful.
Or that could just be an urban legend, but I'm sorry.
It's okay. I love you. Yeah.
Good grief. I feel like where did we just come from? What were we talking about?
We're talking about the Holler.
The Holler. Oh yeah, you and me going fishing.
Still not in that song. So here's the story of my life. So here's the story of my first ghost encounter. It did not say life at all. I don't know. There's no life.
I mean, I kind of want to hear about Holly's life,
I know.
but in a different email.
Right.
Yeah, we've saved this one for this one. We saved this one for this one. Hold on, let me try that again.
Shut up. Stop it. All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to find out how to say goodbye from the Holler.
Oh my gosh.
Holler if you need me. Church is finally letting out. Hold on. These are all great.
My least favorite thing.
There's a little bit of humor in it because it's all. You ready?
Uh-huh. Can't wait.
Okay. I can't even say it. Hold on. It's time to heat up the bricks.